The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The World Health Organization is calling for the adjustment of COVID-19 vaccines to factor in the new strains of the virus. Yesterday, South Africa halted its rollout of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine after a study showed it was minimally effective against the new variant first identified in the country. Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus said 5 out of the 8 vaccines being monitored worldwide have been found to be significantly less effective in preventing the virus. The other 3 vaccines have shown lesser decreases in efficacy, including Pfizer's and Sinopharm's. Other shots, like the one produced by AstraZeneca, showed a significant reduction in efficacy against the new strain.
The emergence of new variants of the virus has raised questions about the potential impact of those variants on vaccines. It also seems increasingly clear that manufacturers will have to adjust to the evolution of the virus, taking into account the latest variants for future shots, including boosters.
The WHO team probing the origins of COVID-19 has ruled out theories that the virus may have been engineered in a Wuhan lab. Peter Ben-Mbarak, who led the team of independent experts, said bats remain the likeliest source of the virus. In fact, he says the origins of the coronavirus points to a natural reservoir in bats, but not specifically to the ones in Wuhan. He adds that the virus must have taken a very long and convoluted path before getting transmitted to humans through frozen food. This also means that the coronavirus might not have originated in Wuhan at all. Mbarak also says all of these early findings require further investigation. But Liang Wanyan, an expert with China's Health Commission, also announced that there had been no substantial spread of the virus in the city before the late 2019 outbreak. He says the virus may have been circulating in other parts of China before it was finally discovered in Wuhan.
在湖北省采取的蝙蝠样本，并未发现新冠病毒相关病毒的一些证据。中国各地的野生动物的采样，至今也未发现新冠病毒的存在。
Wanyan adds that the viral sequence of COVID-19 suggests that the virus indeed originated from animals, but the specific host has yet to be identified. He also explained that animals such as minks and cats are highly susceptible to the virus, so animals from the same family can also be natural hosts for COVID-19.
我们对不同国家的一些数据的研究发现，新冠病毒的循环可能比最初发现病例的时间早了几周。
As reports from the WHO-led investigation in Wuhan start trickling in, experts stress the importance of understanding the origins of the new coronavirus to prevent future pandemics. Dr. Amesh Adalja, a senior scholar from Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, discusses this on Bloomberg Surveillance.
We don't know yet what it is for this virus.
Amish, what does it mean for vaccines? I mean, how quickly can you adapt a vaccine to actually deal with the variant?
Actually, using the vaccine platform technologies that are exemplified by the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines, it's very easy to update the vaccine. They basically just have to make some changes into the code, and you can basically have a new vaccine. That's the elegance of these mRNA vaccine platforms. They really are so easy to kind of plug and play. So I don't have any kind of concerns about not being able to update the vaccine. The question will be, do we need to do it? And I think we need to get more data specifically on the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines versus the South African variant, because it does seem that while Johnson & Johnson, Novavax, and AstraZeneca have some problems stopping symptomatic disease, the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines may be a little bit different, using a different technology.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Agriculture Department says it's ready to provide loans to hog raisers affected by the African swine fever. This is in light of the recent spike in pork prices that prompted the government to implement a price cap on these products in Metro Manila. In an interview with Radio 5, Agriculture Secretary William Dar said the government is allocating up to 27 billion pesos in loans to assist commercial hog raisers. Guidelines will be released by the Land Bank within the week. And aside from this, Dar says the government will also provide zero-interest loans amounting to 500 million pesos to assist backyard hog raisers.
Meron tayong repopulation program, TED, ay on top of the 500 million para pautang, meron 600 million na pamigay ito. Bibigay kami ng piglets at mga iba't ibang inputs para sa ganun sa backyard hog raisers.
The Agriculture Secretary also blasted calls for his resignation. Recall that Agriculture Sector Alliance President Nick Briones had earlier urged Dar to step down from his post, citing issues surrounding the price ceiling's implementation. In response, Dar says, trabaho lang.
Ako, trabaho lang po at I serve at the pleasure of the President. Well, trabaho lang, Ted. Dire-diretso. Yung sinik naman, panay negative siya.
The Interagency Council for Traffic, or IACT, continues its operations against traffic violators. Aside from colorum vehicles, the council is now setting its sights on a new target. Let's get more details from Justine Ponsalang. She's reporting live from Santa Mesa in Manila. Justine, what do you have for us?
That's right, Charles. The Interagency Council for Traffic, or IACT, has added a new target in their regular operations. This time, they are targeting passenger jeepneys, specifically those that use fake QR codes. Recall that back in July last year, the LTFRB allowed the resumption of jeepney operations following the strict lockdown over the COVID-19 pandemic. However, jeepney operators were mandated to get a QR code from the agency. This will serve as proof that their routes are authorized and their units are among those allowed to return to the roads. This applies to both traditional and modern jeepneys. But in an operation last Monday, the IACT apprehended 11 modern jeepneys that take in passengers despite not having the required QR code. This prompted the LTFRB to spur another operation this morning with the goal to catch PUJs without QR codes. According to IACT Special Operations Team Leader Colonel Rosendo Borja, those that will be apprehended will be issued a traffic violation ticket. However, it is up to the LTFRB if the vehicle will be impounded. Should a unit be impounded by the LTFRB, their operators are obliged to pay the 50,000 peso fine. So far this morning, there have been 0 sightings of jeepneys, both modern and traditional, that lack QR codes. However, there are still jeepneys that were flagged down because their passengers did not wear face shields. Quite ironically, these jeepneys have no face mask, no face shield, no ride signboards posted on their units. Charles, meanwhile, the IACT has apprehended 3 colorum shuttle vans because the drivers failed to produce contract of lease and other pertinent documents. One driver even tried to get away by saying that one of his passengers was his aunt, but when asked, the passengers denied knowing or even being related to the driver. Meanwhile, Charles, we received information from the ground that the IACT just finished doing an operation in Buendia, in Pasay, where they apprehended 5 buses that were out of line. All these buses will be impounded in Pampanga and the operators will be fined 1 million peso for each bus. Charles?
Thanks for that, Justine. That was Justine Ponsalang reporting live from Manila. Sydney welcomed the Lunar New Year of the Ox a few days early on Tuesday, kicking off 2 weeks of festive celebrations throughout the city. Sydney Lord Mayor Clover Moore said she hopes that the Year of the Metal Ox will bring prosperity and good health following a year of global catastrophe. Sydney's Lunar New Year festival attracted nearly 1.5 million visitors back in 2019 and is considered one of the largest Lunar New Year celebrations in the world. But COVID-19 restrictions have since reduced those crowd numbers. Still, completely suspending all revelries simply wasn't an option.
Over the years, the festival has also been an important cultural day for international students. It is traditionally a time of family reunion. They are able to celebrate it here, and we have nearly 2 weeks of wonderful events. So Lunar New Year is also a time for renewal, and has been much boon for our local economy and retailers.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 1 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We're One News.